British Columbia contains a vast wilderness with rigorous adventure and great reward for those who attempt to exploit it. It is home to a creature of legend, the stone sheep. A hardy animal, they border on mythical, concealing themselves on remote ridgelines. This land holds a deep history of the stone sheep hunt, marked by the notorious Chadwick Ram, the largest stone sheep ever recorded, shot in 1936 by Lee Sherman Chadwick. Harvesting a mature, full-curl ram is a feat most hunters dream of. Each fall marks the annual migration northward by hunters seeking their piece of the legend. The call to adventure is irresistible and must be answered. Our story begins with two first-time stone sheep hunters, Chris and Devon, as they make their way into uncharted territory to find a ram of their own. A bush plain is their gateway to the backcountry, providing access to a remote mountain range, far gone from civilization. Our two hunters prepare for departure, though with storm clouds on the horizon, they're in for a bumpy ride.
Getting ready. Hopping on a plane. I don't know, weather looks a little iffy right now, so we'll see.
I say it might be a bit stormy. He's gonna check.
And it gets a little rough out there, so we have to, he's just gonna give her and see if we can get into the lake, and if not, maybe time it out a bit, but hopefully get in there tonight. All alone now. That's exciting though, geez. It's nice to finally lay eyes on something you've been looking through maps for the last year.
I think all of this is promising country. There's just so much of it. I will definitely start exploring and get up to the height of land and start exploring from the top down opposed to the bottom up.
I don't know, we'll get up there eventually. It's not going to be pretty, but we'll get up.
Having made it into their hunting area, our boys begin to pick apart the surrounding terrain and game plan a foot assault on the towering ridgelines. Cloud coverage stifles their initial efforts, but persistence is key. Slowly the clouds break and the curtain is pulled back, revealing the hidden treasures of the land.
The biggest peak,
Yeah.
follow the left ridge all the way down until you see it an olive oval. Go straight down below that oval. There's two U's in the rocks.
Oh yeah. Well done, buddy. Heck yeah, son. Let's get some sheep. We are probably going to get soaked from the waist down on the plants. And if we put on rain gear, we'll be soaked from the inside out. So, pick your poison. It's pretty steep and thick, but it's going to open up. It's going to be better. Probably got an hour and a half of pushing through this, I reckon. And then we're in the good.
Vacation.
As the hunters break the tree line, the weather begins to turn. They search for a reprieve from the increasing wind and rain. An impromptu tarp will get the job done. Sheep are a hardy animal, and spending time in their environment can take a toll on the body. Chris patches himself up while waiting out the weather. As the rain subsides, the wind picks up and begins to clear the clouds once again from the surrounding mountaintops. The work resumes. Our hunters press on towards the ridgeline in search of four-legged creatures and a place to lay their head for the night.
We're just climbing this ridgeline because it was the most mellow way to get up into the alpine. But we're going to peek over this ridge and hopefully there's a break in the weather and the wind dies down.
Day breaks, and our hunters rise from their slumber, eager to set eyes on some rams. An early start seems to have paid off for Chris.
There's 3 rams.
Got woken up by Chris waving us over. I guess he peeked over the edge and he saw 3 rams, he says, bedded. By the time I go over there, we picked it apart and I think they got busted out, so hopefully not too far. We'll kind of keep picking away and see if we can spot them somewhere.
The boys head out in search of the disappeared rams. There's a lot of land to cover.
We're slowly working over these ridges, peeking over both sides and just trying to be careful not to skyline ourselves like I did this morning. We can either catch up with those sheep we saw this morning or maybe find some bedded down behind the fingers and the folds that we can't see when we're looking across these bowls. Yeah, no real end goal, but we'd like to run this ridge out as far as we can and see a lot of country today.
We're at the top, just trying to cover as much ground as we can, but there's definitely a good chance that we're walking by a sheep. Just keep giving her and find a ram for us. I'm just hoping to see a big group of white butts moving across the open face here at night. But the wind's just been consistently this way, and our route up from the lake, we haven't actually really touched that much, so hopefully tomorrow we can kind of creep along and just peek down in each basin. Hopefully there's a big old ram sitting down in one of those, so we'll see.
The morning brings flurries of snow and a thick blanket of fog to the ridgeline. Optimistically, the hunters set out to attempt to continue searching for rams. They're met only with frustration. They hunker down and attempt to distract themselves with a game of cards and a hot cup of instant coffee. Idle days in sheep country are challenging and demoralizing. All you can really do is play another round and hope the weather deals you a better hand. After all, the fog won't last forever. Chris has spoken too soon.
Devon.
A young ram presents itself along the ridgeline. This one's too young to be legally hunted, but the boys creep in for a close look. The ram saunters off as it becomes aware of its situation.
The young ram came right over the skyline there and stood out like a sore thumb. He was young. I'm thinking like 3 to 4.
We'll give it a little bit of time and then slowly work our way that way. The wind's really good. It's definitely promising to see lots of sheep sign and sheep, so I think there's a good chance that there's some sheep bedded over there.
The rest of the day is spent running out the ridgeline, following the young ram at a distance and searching for any of his friends that may lay nearby. A new day brings new opportunities. Having had multiple sheep sightings, the hunters continue to scour their ridgeline, hoping for any sign of a mature ram. Patience can only get you so far, though. Having exhausted their hunting location, the boys decide to pack up and head out in search of greener pastures.
We're going to pack up. I don't know if we're adjusting the strategy, we just definitely want to see more ground. We're going to move one whole mountain range south. It's sort of an area that's been glassing on and off throughout the trip, and hopefully find some sheep.
There's so much area and it's such big country that we've kind of, I think, come down to the conclusion just these sheep could be anywhere. It's just an odds game. The more country you cover, the better chance there is of finding a mature ram.
Moving ranges leaves a lot of hiking and glassing to be done. The boys are going to have their hands full.
We're getting shown upon, and we're gonna get a victory today. I think today's our day.
Chris and Devon march forth with the goal of getting their eyes on as much new ground as possible. Late in the afternoon, their efforts pay off.
There's 8 ewes and 2 lambs. It's pretty awesome to see. They're not mature rams, but it's still pretty cool to see. You look for like day after day, you don't see anything, and then all of a sudden there's 10 of them. It's pretty cool.
A positive sign for certain, but still no legal rams in sight. The search is still on. With another day of exploration drawing to a close, hopes of a successful hunt begin to diminish.
Definitely frustrating, but I don't really know what else you can do at this point.
Our hunters must adapt again if they want to find success.
Yeah, plan is to head back towards where we started the trip and hopefully turn up something that we just missed on the way over here.
It's another nice sunny day. It'd be nice to cover some more country like we did yesterday and peek into a couple of basins that we didn't see at the beginning of the trip.
There's one last basin at the very end of the range that we didn't quite peek over into.
We're first-time stone sheep hunters and we've seen sheep every single day. So there's definitely sheep here. We just got to find the sheep.
As they move, a figure catches Chris's eye on the far horizon.
There's a sheep right on top in that top saddle. It's ram and it's better than the small one that we saw. Maybe just shy of 3/4 sort of thing.
It's new rams though.
I think we just go up, maybe drop backpacks, binos, one spotter, rifle, and just belly crawl in.
Wind's gonna be perfect for us. We can tell that what we've seen is definitely not legal, but the fact that there's new sheep in the last little chunk that we haven't covered is definitely exciting. And hopefully that band of rams we've been looking for the whole time is just on the other side of that ridge, so it's exciting.
We really need to get in a position where we can see them and judge them properly.
The hunters travel back to their original range, putting them in a position to mount one last offensive. They eye up the end of the ridgeline, hoping that it holds the elusive band of rams they've been looking for.
You see both of them, right? I see one. There's two. Where's the other one? We're gonna push up this hill and try and get on top of them now that we know they're bedded on kind of a shelf, and hopefully get a good view, and they've got a couple more bedded with them.
The young rams dart away, and the boys can't help but smile after such a rare, close encounter.
That was really exciting. We snuck that right up here and we were within 60 yards of that bedded ram. We were trying to find if there was any others with him. And eventually they busted us. We were a bit close and they pulled the disappearing act and shot out from underneath us. But the big one was a 6-year-old, so not quite legal.
if the hunt ended right now, I'd be a pretty happy guy to get into the 60 yards on a ram. Obviously not of age, but yeah, I don't think many people get to experience that, so sure would have loved if he was legal, but that's just part of it. It's come to an end here, it seems. Plane's coming to pick us up, and feel pretty happy with how everything went, even though we didn't end up finding a legal ram. Felt like we hunted hard and did everything we could, so that's all we can really do. Feels yeah, it feels good. I'm excited for the next one.
I'm excited to go on. This place is cool. I'd come back here. I might come back next year.
Success is a relative term. Many would define a successful hunt as a pack full of meat and a big ram to mount on your wall at home. While this is a desired outcome, others find fulfillment in an adventure shared with good friends and taking part in the legend of the land. After all, the mountains aren't going anywhere. They'll be here to greet the hunters when they return.